Hello, this is Kwavi. Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Over 50. And I have as my fabulous guest this week, Dr. Cynthia Harper. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Kwavi. I am so excited to be here on your show. Thank
Yay!
you.
Yes, and today's show, listen, we're going to be talking about real stuff today.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, listen, we're going to be talking about when you have the blessing of being able to have your parents still living when you're over 50, some of the challenges involved in how we maneuver that and how we handle that and still take care of ourselves, because guess what, life continues regardless of what our parents are going through, right?
Right. That's right.
So tell me a little bit about your situation, your parent, your mom, your dad, who's living, what's going on,
Yes,
what's that like
yes.
for you?
Okay, well, so my father's deceased, but my mother's living.
Okay,
And of
that's
course, my
fine. Yeah.
grandparents are all deceased. And
Mhm.
we're over 50, so our parents are in the 80 range. My mom's 84, 85.
Yeah.
And I live in Georgia and they live in Texas.
Mm,
So there is always it's not guilt, but there's always a burden to feel like, wow, she's so far away and I can do, money's not everything. You can give stuff, but
yeah.
money's not everything.
Nope.
Care is more important than money.
And they
And
want to
so
see you too. That's
they
the thing.
want to see you. They want to see that you care. They want to see that you are engaged in their life and their going ons. And
Yeah.
someone has to be there to help them navigate
True.
this process.
Yes.
So for me, having to look after my elderly mother and still having a life of a coach, a consultant, a speaker, preparing for these major productions that are coming up, I can't tell you that it's over challenging because God graces us. When you have the grace of God, it's not that it's challenging, it's painful because you really want to fix it and make it all right. And your vulnerability must be present in your life to understand you can only do but so much.
Yes, it's so true. And it's interesting what you just talked, because my situation is similar. So my dad is deceased as well. I have my mom, she's in her 80s, and she doesn't live in this country. So she's far away. She lives all the way in Nigeria. And it can be challenging for me because I want to kind of be there with what's going on and how she's doing. And so we've decided, because I have two siblings, so we've decided, and none of us live in Nigeria. We all live outside the country.
Wow.
So we've all decided that every 4 months, somebody will go and see her. So that way, every 4 months, she sees one of her kids. And coincidentally, as we're having this discussion, my time to go is next week. So I'm really excited about that
Wow.
because it's her birthday next week and I get to spend her birthday with her. And she doesn't even know that I'm coming, which is makes it even more exciting. But
Wow.
yeah, but it's you have your parents and they, you find ways to make it work. You find ways. You find ways to make it work, you know.
You have to.
You know.
You have to. Um, and they're constantly on your heart. But what you do is you take that heart palpitation and you place it in the hands that can handle it. And
Mm,
you participate in ways that others can't. It might be with serving as a fiduciary, a medical fiduciary, or it might be as the one that calls and pray with them.
yes.
The one that encourages them.
Yes.
Everyone has a different role,
Correct.
and unfortunately, when you live apart from your elderly parents, you tend to think, man, your role is insignificant, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's not. Yeah.
I mean, they're always in your heart regardless. And so you find ways to make up the times when you're not there. Like I
Right.
am so excited about going next week. I'm going to spend all this time with her. And yes, it's sad when I leave, but I just feel that I am doing my best under the circumstances because, I have a life here. So I'm doing the best under the circumstances. So, and that is enough for me. Because if not, you can get into that guilt trap where you kind of feel like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And when you go down the road of should, listen, you end up feeling frustrated and you end up
Right.
feeling like you're never measuring up. And that's not a place to live. You don't want to live in that land. Mm.
That's right. It is an honor to be able to serve your parents.
Yes.
It's an honor. See, I think what sometimes we forget when we are out serving in the community and we're doing other great things and the world saying, good job, woo, be on your show. I've been featured in a magazine recently as a leading humanitarian and a person to look after and to look for, and just all kinds of great things. I was just recently nominated by the 100 Black Women of Atlanta for being the
Nice.
being one of the most outstanding community, this and that and the other. But let me say this to you. It's easy to serve those people when they're clapping for you, and it's beautiful. But it's an honor to be able to wash your mother's feet, to be able to, if she needs you to wash her bottom, and it's
Yes.
not the pleasant time to do it. It's an honor to be able to
Yes.
cut their food up and say, here you go, mama. My mother just had a tragic fall
Oh, wow.
last week, about a week and a half ago, and she damaged her fingers. She was
Ooh,
holding on to her Kirby, the thing in the yard where you put the trash in,
yeah.
and it was overloaded, and she was taking it down to the street so that the trash
Oh,
people could pick it up, and it
and she,
flipped her over
oh,
in
wow.
the street. And but let me tell you about the grace of God, though.
Yeah.
She didn't break her neck, her back, her hip, her head, no scarring on her beautiful, smooth chocolate skin.
Oh.
None of those things. Did she mangle her fingers? She did. But with the specialists, the doctors, and with the prayer and the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the fingers can be saved.
Yeah.
And they brought in specialists. They're working on them. She's got 6 or 8 weeks of hard recovery time.
Mhm.
But other than that, you know, we're grateful. In all things, give
Yeah.
thanks. In
Yeah.
all things, give thanks.
Yeah. I love what you said. It's an honor because sometimes we can get into that, you know, mindset of, oh, I have to do this. I should do this. I should do that. And with our parents, it really should be, I get to do this. It's the
I
same thing
get to
I
do
tell
this.
parents too when parents are like, oh my goodness, so much I have to do this for the kids. We get to do this. It's an opportunity for us
That's
to
right.
be, and I always tell, parents, daughters, sons, I'm like, listen, you have parents living, don't ever think of it as a chore. Because when you start with that, I should do this, I should do that for them, it ends up being a chore and your mindset aligns with that. And guess what? When you feel something is a chore, guess how you show up? You show up frustrated. You never
Exactly.
show up joyfully. But when you
And
say, I get to,
you get to.
yes.
I mean, and that's the joy of being over 50. You begin
Yes.
to see things for what they really are. You don't get overpressed out. You don't make a big deal out of it. You're not overly sensitive. You just get to serve. You get to put on your nurse's cap or your waiter's jacket. You get to put on your apron, and you get to go and do what you desire to do for those that you love.
Yes.
It's an honor.
It is. And I know some of you might be listening and thinking, oh, you know what, but I didn't have a great childhood. And I'll just tell you this, it doesn't matter. When you decide to share joy with someone else, guess who benefits? You do.
You
You
do.
do. You do. So just do it anyway. It doesn't
You
matter.
do.
Just do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You do. You benefit from it too.
Yeah.
The more we give, the more God gives to us. And so
It's
to
like,
give to those that are around us, that was my prayer this morning with my group, and my talk with my group this morning
uh,
was, we need to reconcile the people closest to us back to who they were. So they messed up. They made a mistake. But it is my job and your job to say, hey, get up. You got this. It is my job and your job to say, be restored. You are forgiven. There
yes.
is another opportunity. We tend to hurt those people that we love the most,
Yeah.
and we tend to be so crucial, so critical on them. And,
Yes.
and, and honestly, where there's unity among the brethren, then the blessing is commanded.
Oh,
So
love
we've
it.
got to learn to unify and
Yes.
say, okay, so you fail, but I'm here to help you get up. We got
Yeah.
to be able to say to our parents, it's okay. Because you know what? Some of our parents did make some grave mistakes at
Yeah.
some point in their life.
Yeah.
But look how many mistakes we've made
Yes, and that's what we need to remember. We're making mistakes daily. Daily.
daily,
Yeah.
absolutely daily. And so we are blessed. We are blessed when we can look at ourselves and say, I did that myself, and you are forgiven. There is a way of escape for you. I
Mhm.
don't know the answers. God does, but let me work this thing out with you. Let
Yeah.
me help you.
Mhm.
Always be the one to encourage the person who's gained weight.
Yeah.
As older people, be the one who who looks at our people and says, so you messed up with your money. Let's see how we can work it out.
Oh,
It is so easy to be critical, in
yeah.
particular as older people against the people that have hurt us. Don't
Sure.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to lay it all down because
Yes,
I want to be able to be free in my heart.
that's what it is because there's freedom associated
There's
with
freedom in that. And I want to be pure.
it. Yeah.
People think being pure is oh, this perfect little, no, pure means you that what's conceived in the heart.
Yes.
Because out of the mouth, out of the heart, the mouth speaks. So
Oh,
what
yeah.
we need to do is learn to control our mouth and to take this time to love on our elderly parents, to love on the
Yes.
elderly neighbor, to love
Yes.
on the elderly person in the line that's taken
Yes.
forever in the grocery
I
store.
know. Listen, this is not just for people that have elderly parents living. This is just for you showing love to elderly people around you. Really. Because we live in a society right now that is youth obsessed. It's like you're not young, it's like you don't really
You
matter.
don't really matter,
So if
which
we can show, we don't.
we
That's
don't.
society's
Exactly.
view. We know that's
Exactly.
not true, but that's society's view. And so if we can just show love to some of these elderly people around us who probably don't have anyone else for them, and be patient with them, like you said, then the grocery store, they're taking their time. You know, just be patient.
Just be
Don't.
patient and love on them. In
Yeah.
fact, can I reach up there and get that for you? Do you need me to
Yes.
go to the meat section for you? Are those Coca-Colas too hard for you to put in your car?
Yes.
It's those kinds of things, Kwavi. We have to, our elderly are so important. And even if they made a mistake and they didn't buy you the Grinch for Christmas, or they didn't purchase the
What you.
wagon, or
Yes.
they didn't get you, the famous
Yes.
doll that everyone
Yes.
was using at the time. Guess what? It's okay. Get over it. Now, I know getting over some hurts and pains are different, but you have to process things, because if you think about it, at our age, we've been with ourselves longer than what they reared us.
Yes.
At
True.
some point, if you've not worked on yourself, that means you've not done the work. Work on yourself, do the work so that you can be there for those, because
Oh,
this world is not always about just doing for those who did for you. It's about being there for people, just because you love them,
yeah.
just because you genuinely care.
That's it. That's it. And I love what you said about doing the work. We are work in progress every day.
Every
Not
single
it's
day.
as long as we're breathing, we're a work in progress.
We're work in progress.
You know.
So do the work, friends.
Yeah.
Literally do the work. Look at yourself and do an examination. And even like think about your mother or your father, and you say, what part of me is like mom or dad?
Mm.
And you say, oh, I'm not like her like this, and I don't do that. Well, the truth of the matter is, you probably
We
do.
are.
You say, well, I'm never going to do this like them.
We
Well,
always say that, right?
you might
Ooh,
have done it
famous
a little
last words.
differently, but you've done something. And so
Yeah,
caring for them is so important.
it is.
Giving them some comfort. We got to remember to care for them. We have to give them comfort.
Yes.
We've got to teach them to be courageous at an elderly age, because they're aged out of so many programs.
Yeah.
The church doesn't have the same need for them. The community doesn't have, because we're so obsessed with this social, beautiful,
Yes. Look at a
lifestyle.
certain way. Oh yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And as you grow older, you begin to, well, I like myself like I am. I look at my gray hair and I'm thinking,
It's all good,
it's
girl, right?
good. It's beautiful. Look,
I feel the
it's
same way. Like
beautiful.
mine right here. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah,
This
let's
is
go.
this is
Yeah,
an
yeah.
honor to have this.
It is. It's
Because guess
wisdom
what? There are people that don't even get to this age. So I'm grateful.
that don't make it to this age.
Nope.
You know what? And you think about age, and I told the Lord when I was flying in from Texas, and I was tired, and it was like, I said, but God, I thank you. Because the trams had gone out at the airport. They were servicing the trams. So that meant walking through the Atlanta airport from one end, from one
Okay.
gate all the way through.
Can I just say, listen, if you don't live in Atlanta, you probably won't get this.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But I was
it
grateful
is
that
a
I had.
long,
It's a
long walk.
long
Walk.
walk. And I
Seriously.
said to the Lord, but I'm grateful that I can do it.
Yes.
I'm grateful that I can
Exactly.
put one foot before the other one. I'm grateful that I can carry my bag, have my purse, and still walk and trot and get there to pick up my luggage.
Not everyone can do that.
And there
If
were
you're
people
listening, please. This is serious stuff. Not everyone can do that.
because we're going to age people. And that's why when I was at home, I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm glad you keep moving. You keep getting up, working in the yard.
Yes.
You keep working in the yard. You know, people saying, well, she
Yes.
didn't need to work in the yard. Yes, she does.
Listen, if she's able to do it, yes.
Yes.
keep
A body
moving.
in motion stays in motion.
Thank you. Yes.
So because you're 50, 60, 70,
70, 80.
you have 80, 90, you have purpose to fulfill.
Yes.
You have wells to draw. You have
Yes.
things to do.
Yes. Yes.
You're called for such a time as this to get up and do something. And so you have to encourage your parents. Mom, there's still life in you. Dad, there's still life in you.
Yes.
Granny, there's still movement in you.
Yes.
Granny, they're having a bake sale down the street. Why don't you bake the cookies for the kids?
Yes.
There was purpose for you as you age, as we get older.
Every single age, there is purpose for you.
There is. And people say, honey, I'm over 50 or I'm 60. I deserve to be fat and out of shape. Well, that's a mentality. You deserve to be as healthy as you can be.
Yes.
You deserve to give yourself the best treatment that you deserve.
Yes.
And if you say, well, it's over, honey, I don't care, then it's over. But if you say to yourself, yes.
But that's so true. That when you say it's over, guess what? There are people living, but are literally just dying. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're alive, but you're not really living. You
Absolutely.
don't want to be, and it stems from the mentality. It stems from the mentality. It's like, how do you view yourself?
How do you view yourself? As an older, sophisticated, beautiful, wise, smart, exposed individual. How do you view yourself? You know, because let me tell you, the frailty is, you look at your parents, if you're blessed, you're going to be 80 one day. My mom is 85. Amen. And I'm looking at my mom saying, I want my skin to look like that at 85.
Yes.
I want that vigor at 85 to be able to go in my yard, pull up the weeds.
Yeah.
I want that vigor. Wow. That's what we should want. Never be ashamed of getting older. Never be ashamed.
No.
Because there is a place in diversity for all of us.
Yes. I remember there was a saying I read a few years ago from Helen Mirren, and it said, you either die young or you grow old. There's no in between. It's true. I mean, that is the beauty, so you get to be here. I want you to appreciate exactly where you are and what's going on in your life. I mean, we get to live this life right now. I like to compare it to, I like to say that Cicely Tyson and Betty White. I'm on whatever plan they have. I'm on that plan too. Because both of them, oh my goodness, between Betty White and Cicely Tyson, they lived life to the fullest till the end.
To the end. They died empty, Kwavi. Listen.
To the end.
You have to learn to die empty. Meaning all the things that he's given you to do them.
Put them out there.
I'm 59. I turned 59 May 11th.
Yes, a few days. Yeah.
A few days ago. And God said, release that play.
Mm-hmm.
My brother is 65.
Yes.
And he just got a Grammy for writing a song for another artist.
65.
That is the epitome of the height of your life.
Yes.
That is the epitome of the height of your craft. When you get a Grammy, an Emmy, an Oscar, a Tony, if you get realtor of the year, if you receive sales associate of the, if you get when you reach the epitome of your craft, you say, thank you, God, for giving me that opportunity.
Yes.
I didn't get it when I was 20. I didn't get it when I was 30. Mm-hmm. I didn't get it when I was 40, but I got it at 65.
Wow.
Friends, I want to share something with you.
Yes.
Don't ever hesitate. Don't ever hesitate to be excited about your age.
Yes.
Never ever
Thank
be
you. Oh my goodness.
embarrassed that you've achieved, and you're going to go through some things. Look, my light is blinking out, right?
But we're going.
But you keep going. So I got a shortage somewhere. But guess what? You keep going. There's always going to be a shortage of something. Yes. No man has everything, Kwavi.
No one.
No one at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90.
No
You
one.
don't have everything.
No.
In fact, if you did, you'd be an island to yourself. You think you were more.
Yes, exactly. True.
So you keep going.
Keep going.
Keep
Yes,
going. Love the skin you're in. If you're brown, if you're beige, if you're green, if you're red, if you have short,
exactly.
kinky, natural, long, curly,
Appreciate it.
beautiful, just
Yes.
appreciate, embrace all that you have for you.
Embrace it. Embrace it all. You know.
Embrace it all. And then begin to speak those things that you even desire. Speak
Yes.
affirmations beforehand. I mean, declare and decree. I am 130, 140 pounds. I
Yes.
have reached, I will receive a Tony for my production. I say
Yes.
it every day. I
Yes.
will have an award-winning production. I
Yes.
will, my name will be known great in the earth because, not because of me, but because the promises that were made to me.
Mm,
You've got
I
to say those
love it.
things and believe them. You've got to say to yourself every day, okay,
Yes.
day, I don't feel like it, day, but we got to still go.
That's it. And because you don't, I keep saying this all the time, because you don't feel like doing something doesn't mean you don't do it. Come
Doesn't
on,
mean you don't
let's
do
be
it.
honest. We do a lot of things for other people when we don't feel like doing it. But when it comes to ourselves,
Absolutely.
we're like, I don't feel. I'm like, no, this is more of a reason why you need to really go
Why
ahead
you
and do
need
it.
to really
Don't
do
use
it.
it because you don't feel like it as an obstacle. Oh no, that's just a blimp. Like keep it going. Keep on
Keep it
going.
going. And you listen, have something in the pocket. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean.
Yes.
When you know, I had traveled, I'm tired, my voice is a little raspy. I wasn't really dressed, but I said to myself when I realized, this is the day when you call, it's not about what I look like on the outside. I could have gotten glammed up, I'm a glam girl. But
I
you
know
know
you are.
what? It's it's
You
what's
still
on the
look glam to
inside.
me though, but that's okay.
No, no, you're the glam girl. But we have to be able to convey what's on the inside because that's what makes us beautiful. What
Yeah,
really are you when the lights are out? What would I do if all the lights went out in here?
true, true. Yeah,
What am I going to say to myself?
exactly. Exactly. And this is really more or less saying when there's no one around, how do you view yourself? Like
How do you view
what
yourself?
yeah. Like how do you show up for you
How do
when
you
no
show up?
one is watching? That is the truth. That is the core of who you are. That is who you are at the core.
Yes,
And really listen, like Dr. Harper said, age is not something you need to be ashamed of. Age is something you need to be proud of. You're here at this moment and allow all the gifts that God has given to you, allow it to blossom. Pull them all out there in the world because people are waiting for those gifts. They're going to benefit from those gifts. And but if you keep holding on to them, guess what? It's not going to be out there. It's like almost like you're hoarding. And there is no benefit to you hoarding the gifts that you have to yourself. No one
exactly.
benefits that way. No.
Exactly. So a gift isn't a gift unless you give it away.
Thank you.
Give
Yeah.
it away.
Give it
See,
away.
people don't understand gifts and talents and how they're supposed to work. A gift was never given for you.
Mm-mm.
If you are a baker and you can bake good cookies, do you think you're baking 10 dozen of cookies from you? For
No.
you? No. You're baking them to take to the bake sale. You're baking them to give to the kids at school. You're baking
Yeah.
them for your children to come in and enjoy. You're
Yeah.
baking them for your husband to be able to have a good
Yeah. Yeah.
cookie
It's
feast.
true. It's similar to like someone who can sing. If you can sing,
Absolutely.
you're gonna sing to yourself all day. Like seriously,
Exactly.
your
Exactly.
talent is for others to benefit.
Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
want us to remember that. And listen, don't use age as a reason not to go for it. I mean, your brother's story is so inspiring at 65. It reminds me of a lady I had a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Brown, who she was a doc, she's a physician. She retired. And then at 60, she moved to New York to learn acting. She was in acting classes with 19-year-olds at 60 years old.
I
And
know.
guess what, though? She started working. Like she was busy. She got a lot of acting gigs. I mean, to me, that's inspiring because she decided, you know what, this is a goal of mine.
And I'm going to
Do
do
it.
it.
I'm going to do it. And I want all of you that's listening to really, I know a lot of you have a lot of goals that you're going after, but you've kind of maybe suppressed them, maybe because you feel, oh, this is not the right time, or maybe I'm too old, or whatever the reason is. I want you today to decide that you will go after those goals and start taking steps towards them. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but at least take action towards the goals. Take action.
Take action. You know, when I decided to go back to school, I really wanted to go to Spelman.
Yes.
And I have, you know, Spelman is a traditional school, 8 to 5.
Yes.
Well, of course, I worked and I had a really good corporate job.
Yes.
But I wanted to get into Spelman. Now, I didn't finish there,
Yes.
but I got into this program called the Gateway Program for mature women returning back to school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. And so these kids would say, these girls would say, she's an old lady. You know, she's 40 something. Here I am, 40 something, in better shape than any of them could ever be.
Isn't it interesting?
And here they're talking about, can you believe she's 40 something? I'm like, honey, when you get my age, you better want to look like me. You better want to have the
Tell them.
Exactly. Bigger in the routine that I got, sugar mama. But, you know, they were like, she's 40. I said that to say this. Don't you dare let somebody age you out.
That's it. Don't let anyone age you out. You guys,
you're not too old if you've been called to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're not too old.
No. Oh, love. All right. This is so good. Dr. Harper, so before we close this out, I want you to give them a message. Like, what do you want to share with the audience before we end this interview?
You know what I want to share? And I want to share based upon my experiences. Life happens, and then it happens again. But we have to grow through the happenings of life. This is why in life, you have to understand the difference in peace, joy, and happiness.
Yeah.
And let me explain this. I'm happy if you bring me a cake. That makes me happy because I like key lime cake. That's happy. Or you buy me a pair of earrings. I like jewelry. If you buy me, that makes me happy. Peace is in the middle of it. Doesn't matter what the storm is. I have peace to know that I'm going to come out okay. I was built for this. I can handle this.
Yes.
And the joy is knowing that whatever got me here will strengthen me and keep me.
Yeah.
I know that. So whatever you deal with, learn to have peace, joy, and happiness, and that you will be sustained through it. And in all these things you deal with, not for all things, but in all things, give thanks.
Yes. Oh,
that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's
Thank you
it.
so much
That's
for
it.
joining us. I know there are people that are going to be blessed, inspired, encouraged by this, message that we've shared. And so for those listening, listen, if you are watching this and you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, like, what are you
You better subscribe.
Thank you. And not only subscribe, you need to share with other people so that they can be blessed by this information. Because listen, over 50, we have a lot to share. We have a lot of experience and brilliance, and we need more in the fold. So please keep on sharing this information. And if you've loved this so much and you're like, I want more, I encourage you to go to my online community called Flourish. I'm going to put the information in the show notes. And, come in there. It's an online community for women that are exclusively in the age range of 50 and over. And so it might be something you might be interested in, where we inspire, encourage, and motivate one another. So thank you, Dr. Harper. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank
you all for listening. And, we'll see you again next week. Thank you, Dr. Harper.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed listening to the show, you have to take a look at Flourish, my monthly online community for women in their 50s and beyond. We talk about the important issues affecting women in their 50s and over, and provide tools and resources to help you live your best life. Join me by clicking the link Flourish Online Community in the About Me section below. I'd love to have you join me. See you there.